And I really believe that if everyone did care, if all the people in our country cared, we would never come to this position right here. We never got into that right there. We never got into cancer. We never have gotten into the stuff of the wars. We wouldn't have gotten into this. It would have never gotten to that. Because if a lot of people are caring, they're out there doing something, and it never gets like that. Obviously, everybody doesn't care. And I don't think it's going to change very fast. And yet it has changed pretty fast because we're in a situation where, with this economic situation here, it's not just that. It's that plus cancer, plus diabetes, plus heart disease, plus the wars, plus the pollution, plus the climate change,
plus the pharmaceuticals,
food.
There's just so much that's been caused by bad human behavior. Just plain and simple. We won't call it. I'll just keep it as simple as possible. Just bad human behavior. It's wrong to be greedy and do what those bankers are doing. It's wrong for our government to have all this power that has been given to it by the people. The government has power because the people gave it to them. Those bankers and these chemical company people, like say that movie about Iceland. How they had Iceland in there and Alcoa, and then it didn't even say anything about that huge problem. We've got Alcoa up in St. Lawrence River Valley. I'm from the St. Lawrence River Valley. I grew up there. I was born out in Wisconsin, and I came to St. Lawrence County and lived in Augsburg and then Lisbon, and then over in Colton. I've lived in St. Lawrence County my whole life. And I know a lot about Alcoa. And Alcoa says in letters to our group Cancer Action New York, they say, we're right on the environment, we're so good, we're so careful, we are great stewards of the environment. I talked to their environmental guys, Mr. Shaw. He said, we're taking care of the environment. We're taking care of people. We're giving people jobs. Everything's fine. And yet Alcoa took off their wet scrubbers, which were removing the SO2 from their huge factory at Messina, New York, in an age of acid emissions causing harm to the forests of the Adirondacks. And yet it's all okay. They just said they had to do it to save money. They didn't have to do it to save money. They make billions of dollars. They're screwing up our world for us, just because they got all this power, they just do it. They do it. They make the rules, they have the money, they are established, so they just keep doing it. And the only thing that's going to bring the changes that will get Alcoa under control, that'll force them to put those wet scrubbers back on and control their acid emissions, they put out 12 tons, I believe it was, many tons of sulfur dioxide. Everybody knows. People know what these problems are. They know how to deal with these problems, but nothing happens because of who's got the power. And as long as money is the power, we're going to have this problem. Truly, the best thing that could ever happen would be if those meltdowns did take place and money just became worthless. They'd lose all their power. Then to be just think, okay, can you cut firewood? Can you carry water? Can you feed yourself? Can you hunt? Can you do these things that people need to do to survive? Then all those horrible people that have all that power, they will be just like, they'd be done. They'd be just plain done. All their crap, all their greed, all their arrogance, all their refusal to, do the right thing for other people, every bad thing about them that made them the way they are, they'd suffer being that way in the real world, and they wouldn't last long. They just couldn't survive being that crappy, They don't deserve to survive.